What's up guys, Alvaro here, welcome to the Bilingual Stock Market channel again. On this channel we talk about the markets and we do it in English and Spanish as well, so you can pick your preferred language. And in this video, and as I do it Mondays through Thursdays, I want to make a quick stock market update. So I want to break down some technicals going over the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100, and also breaking down from a technical standpoint 3 stocks that tomorrow are going to be on the very top of my personal watch list. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. And today we had another quiet day in the markets with low volume, with a volume that was pretty much below average. And the best performing index was the Russell 2000, which went up today 0.57%. The Nasdaq went up 0.33%, and both the Nasdaq and the Nasdaq 100 reached a new all-time high in today's trading session. The Dow Jones went down 0.14%. This is the third negative day in a row for the Dow Jones, and the S&P 500 pretty much broke even, going up 0.03%. And when it comes to the sectors that trade inside the S&P 500, once again, the real estate sector was the best performing sector inside the S&P 500, going up 1.72%. I think, guys, that this is the third trading session in a row in which real estate has been leading the way in the S&P 500. So we have a lot of money going into that sector, no doubt about it. And once again, the worst performing sector was the energy sector, which went down 1.49%. And I think that the energy sector has been going down during 3 trading sessions in a row. And something that is also worth pointing out is that the financial sector is still lagging, guys. This was the second to last worst performing sector today, and it went down 0.61%. So we might find some good deals inside the financial sector. Keep that in the back of your mind. And when it comes to the S&P 500, by the way, this is not the S&P 500, clearly, guys, this is Workhorse. And we are starting out today, guys, the month of September. And you guys already know that September is typically a negative month for the markets. However, let me share with you an interesting fact. On average, when the S&P 500 has kicked off the month of September with gains greater than 10% throughout the year, the S&P 500 has gained on average 0.50% in the month of September. And how much has the S&P 500 gone up throughout this year? I'm glad you asked. 22%. So I am in a lot of chats with a bunch of traders, and today I saw a lot of people out there, a lot of traders, with a very bearish sentiment towards the markets loading up on puts. So I don't know, guys, hold your horses, because from a historical standpoint, I am not going to argue that September is typically a negative month for the markets. However, if the S&P 500 does this year or throughout September what it usually does once it starts the month of September with gains greater than 10%, you guys are going to get burned. So keep that in mind. And the S&P, as I just said, pretty much broke even today. It went up 0.03%, and it closed today's trading session at 4,524 points. So there is not really much to say here. We are on a clear uptrend. The trend is your friend until it steals your clothes while you are taking a shower. Someone said that 2 days ago, and that made me laugh. Okay, so the trend is your friend. We are trading above the moving averages. The RSI is at 61 points. We can make the case that this is a healthy level for the S&P 500. So in technical terms, guys, what we saw today was a process of consolidation slightly above a very important area of lower support at 4,500. So no one should be shorting the markets, guys, unless 4,500 is broken to the downside. If you are loading up on puts without seeing this very important area of lower support being broken to the downside, you're betting. That's what you're doing, basically. So there is not really a lot to say over here. Clear uptrend, trading above the moving averages, so overhead resistance in the case of the S&P is pretty much the new all-time high at 4,537 points, and support is going to be obviously 4,500. And in the case of the good old Nasdaq 100, let me pull up here the 4-hour chart, and we have once again a new all-time high in the case of the Nasdaq 100 at 15,696 points. So in terms of the relative strength index, it is at 68 points. So I could make the case, guys, that maybe tomorrow the Nasdaq 100 could retrace a bit and maybe it could find support at 15,500 points. But until the area of lower support near 15,400 points isn't broken to the downside, then there is no technical reason to load up on puts. As simple as that. So we can see a clear uptrend. We are trading above the moving averages. And keep in mind, guys, that next Monday is going to be Labor Day. So the markets are going to be closed. And usually, typically, when we are in days prior to a holiday, we have, for the most part, a low volume and we see quiet days in the markets. And if we are going to see a significant pullback in the case of the Nasdaq 100 and the S&P 500, we need to see a huge spike on the volume of these two indices, and that is very unlikely to be the case at least until next week. So overhead resistance for the Nasdaq 100 is going to be 15,696 points, the new all-time high. And in terms of support, I am going to be looking at 15,500 points first as the most immediate area of lower support. And if that area of lower support happens to be broken to the downside, 15,400 points. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the first stock of this video, which is going to be Lucid Motors, which is a stock that got absolutely decimated in today's trading session. So Lucid went down today 10.87%, and it closed today's trading session at $17.79. And the reason, guys, for the massive sell-off that we saw earlier on today is that the share lockup period expired for PIPE investors, and I think that the average price of the PIPE investors was at around $15. So earlier on today, the PIPE investors were about to break even, guys. Take a look. Lucid visited $15.26. It was about to hit $15. So we can make the case that the massive drop that we saw today were, for the most part, PIPE investors selling out of Lucid shares. So you can tell that they have a great confidence in the future of Lucid Motors. Oh man, don't get me started. Okay, in the case of Lucid, I took advantage of the dip and I took a successful day trade in today's trading session because I purchased 150 shares at $16.32. So I paid $2,447, and this was, guys, something like a 20 or 25 minute trade. So I ended up selling my 150 shares at $17.98. I ended up, as usual, leaving some money on the table. I was paid $2,696 for these 150 shares. So I ended up making, for the most part, almost $250 over here. And yesterday we got good news about Lucid. And I have told you guys that I am a bit antsy because I really want Lucid to start selling their vehicles. And they announced something yesterday. Let me see. There you go. Here's the news. Because they announced, I think that they announced the opening of their manufacturing plant, correct, in Casa Grande. I cannot read the news over here because my camera is blocking the news. But let me see over here. Policymakers and selected group of customers, invited guests will be able to observe the Lucid Air and take a deep dive into Lucid's advanced EV technology with leading engineers. So this is going to take place, I think, that on September 27. So we can expect Lucid to be a runner into that day, guys. Keep that in the back of your mind. September 27. So it looks like Lucid is going to start manufacturing vehicles sooner rather than later. Those are good news. In terms of taking a trade with Lucid, guys, and taking into account that the stock of this company closed today's trading session at $17.79, if tomorrow Lucid happens to pay a visit to $16.23, which is pretty much the price in which I picked up the 150 shares that I bought this morning, and we are also talking about a former area of lower support that already acted as such for Lucid back in mid-January, then at that price you can be absolutely sure that I am going to be purchasing 150 or 200 more shares of Lucid in order to try to take a swing trade. If I am able to pick up some shares of Lucid tomorrow, then my price target is going to be the next important area of overhead resistance for the bulls of Lucid near $21. $21 is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such for Lucid back in mid-August. It also acted as support back in mid-July, and lastly it acted as support back in late March. If I were able to take this trade the way that I am describing it, picking up shares of Lucid near $16.30 and selling out of those shares at $21, I could be potentially locking in a profit of 25%. And the dip that we saw this morning was backed with a lot of confidence, guys. So we can make the case that, yeah, most of the pipe investors sold out of Lucid earlier on today. They don't really have a big conviction in the company, but retail investors picked up Lucid without a shadow of a doubt, guys. So that's a very good sign, and I think that we are going to see Lucid eventually above $21 or $21. And keep in mind that on September, what did I say? September 27, I think, or September 23rd. I forgot, guys. My bad. So let me see again so I can confirm. September 27. So watch out, because I think that Lucid is going to be a runner into that event. And the second stock of this video is going to be Chargepoint, which is reporting earnings as of now. And before clicking the ticker symbol over here, I gotta tell you that I am holding 150 shares of Chargepoint, so I have a skin in this game. So let's see what is going on in the case. Hey, take a look at this. It went up a lot. So my plate paid off, guys. This is amazing. So Chargepoint went up today 0.38%, and it closed today's trading session at $21.23. And after hours, let me see, and let me show you my position, guys. It is up a lot, guys, almost $24. So CHPT is up 12%. So let me see what my position is looking like as of now, and this is live reaction, guys. Maybe I can actually close my position over here. So I have 150 shares and I have a gain of $456. Let me see if I can actually sell my shares as of now while I am recording this video. And yeah, I need to set a limit price. Let me put, it is trading at, let me see, 23.85. I'm gonna type 23.60, let's say 150. Let me see. So let's see how this plays out, guys. So my earnings played finally paid off. Chargepoint is up a lot after hours. So let me pull up here the 4-hour chart, and we are, for the most part, guys, let me zoom in here on the 4-hour chart, and we are right below or above because Chargepoint is trading at $23.80. Yeah, we are a bit below a very important area of overhead resistance at $24. $24 is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such for Chargepoint back on late April, and it also acted as lower support during March. So I'm going to try to sell out of my shares before 6 p.m., which is my deadline, in order to close that position. And take a look at the RSI. It is very elevated. It is at 71 points. So I am going to try to lock in the profit, guys. And since the RSI of Chargepoint is so elevated, this should be a no touch in tomorrow's trading session, unless Chargepoint happens to pull back a bit and maybe pays a visit to $23. Let me draw a line over here. And as you guys can see, $23 is an area of overhead resistance in which the bulls of Chargepoint failed back on August 25th. It also acted as support back on August 3rd. And what else can I see over here? And we are also talking about another former area of lower support that acted as such for Chargepoint back on May 27. So that might be an entry price if any one of you is interested in picking up Chargepoint. And what did Chargepoint report? Let me see over here. So let me see. So they missed on EPS because they reported a loss of 29 cents. Remember that Chargepoint is not a profitable company yet, when the estimate was a loss of 13 cents. So they missed on EPS. However, sales came in at $56 million, beating the estimate of $49 million. And I think that they guided up, guys. So that's probably what the markets liked the most. Because, let me see, Q3 sales. Okay, they are saying that sales on Q3 are going to be somewhere between $60 up to $65 million, when the estimate was $54 million. So they missed on EPS, but they beat on revenue, and they are up guiding when it comes to sales for Q3. So this was a very decent earnings report, to say the least. And let me see if my sell order went through. No, it hasn't gone through yet. That's fine. I am making money here, so my earnings play ended up paying off for me. And the last stock of this video, sorry for the for being improvising here, guys, because this is for the most part live reaction. Workhorse, what happened today in the case of Workhorse? So the stock of this company went down today 6.83%, and it closed today's trading session at $9.14. So let me pull up here the live news tab, guys, because we got bad news in the case of Workhorse. So let me see if I can read here for you. So financials regulators, we're talking about the Securities and Exchange Commission, opened an investigation into electric delivery truck maker Workhorse Group, an Ohio-based firm. Okay, whatever. Let me see down below. So the Securities and Exchange Commission disclosed in a letter denying a public records request that its enforcement division has been probing Workhorse, according to a copy of the letter reviewed by the Wall Street Journal. So for the most part, Workhorse is pretty much looking the other way when it comes to some sort of public records that they were supposedly forced to disclose. I mean, is this news going to be very negative for Workhorse? So I think, guys, that if they were, let's say, told to disclose some sort of public records, maybe if they do publish the information that they are being told to disclose, then this bad news is going to be gone, arguably. In the case of Workhorse, and if from a technical standpoint, obviously, and since we closed today's trading session, since we closed today's trading session at $9.14, So we closed, guys, below an important area of lower support that already acted as such for Workhorse back in the beginning of June and also back in the beginning of May. So this area of previous support is going to act as a new resistance for Workhorse near $9.50. If Workhorse happens to fail tomorrow or if the bulls of Workhorse happen to fail in trying to break this resistance to the upside, then watch out for Workhorse, guys, paying a visit to the next important area of lower support at $7.46. $7.46 is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such for Workhorse back on May 12th. So if tomorrow Workhorse happens to pay a visit to the area of lower support that I just told you about near $7.23, I am going to be tempted, very tempted actually, in order to pick up 100 or 200 shares of Workhorse. If so, my price target is going to be the resistance that I just told you about near $9.50, in which case, and if I happen to be able to take this trade the way that I am describing it, I could be locking in a profit of almost 23%. So watch out for Workhorse tomorrow, guys, either bursting above $9.50, which is a previous area of lower support that now is going to act as a resistance, and maybe filling the gap up to the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart at $10.83, which is an area of overhead resistance, in which the bulls of Workhorse failed today, or maybe if the bulls can't take on $9.50, watch out for the stock of this electric vehicle manufacturer paying a visit to the next important area of lower support near $7.40, which is an area in which I am going to be opening a position on Workhorse. And with Workhorse, I am going to wrap up the video. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for hanging out with me once again. Remember and keep in mind, guys, that here on the Bilingual Stock Market channel, we are posting stock market update videos Mondays through Thursdays, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. So if you want to get all of the notifications of all of our videos in a timely manner, you have to be subscribed to the channel, but you also need to activate the notification bell right up there. Follow us on Instagram as well, guys, at Bilingual Stock Market. And remember that this is the Bilingual Stock Market channel, the YouTube channel in which we talk about the markets, but we do it in English and Spanish as well, so you can pick your preferred language. But most importantly, this is the YouTube channel in which we know that the wonderful world of Wall Street is not for geniuses, it is for entrepreneurs just like you guys and myself. My name is Alvaro, and I will see you guys tomorrow once again, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. Peace out.